2, 1, go.
Madam, we are live now. So good evening, doctors and all the participants. On behalf of SHRE Healthcare, I welcome all the delegates in today's session on stem cell and anti-aging under Cosmetic Gynae Made Easy series organized by Indian School of Aesthetic Gynaecology in association with Shield Connect, a knowledge sharing initiative of SHRE Healthcare. But before moving into the session, it's my responsibility to introduce the coordinator of the today's session, Madam, Dr. Poonam Madam. Although Madam is very well known in this entire fraternity, but it's my formal responsibility to introduce her. Madam is the president of Indian School of Aesthetic Gynaecology, and she is the chairperson, Cosmetic Gynaecology, ISARM, SIG, a member of Sexual Medicine Committee, FOGSI India, and she is the director of Manas Hospital, Manas Gynae Cosmetology and Leisure Center, and Miracle Aesthetic Clinic, Lucknow. And Madam is practicing obstetrician and gynecologist with special interest in cosmetic gyneecology, regenerative medicine, and sexual health. And in terms of academic activities, Madam participated and organized programs, and she is present as a faculty member in national and international conferences. So now it is time to hand over the session to Madam for further proceedings and obviously for the introduction of Dr. Prabhu Chandra Mishra.
Thank you, Mr. Suman, and thanks again to you, Shield people, for providing us this huge platform to be connected to everyone whom we were not able to reach. And this topic, this Cosmetic Gynae Made Easy, is being now available to all those who are interested, who have got keen interest in this subject, this cosmetic gynecology. And we are trying with our association, this Indian School of Aesthetic Gynaecology, which is one of the best institutions in India to provide cosmetic gynecology training, because we are having with us different organizations and heads of different organizations. As with us here today for today's talk, Dr. Prabhu Mishra, who is a big name, who has got the he is the president of Indian International Association of Stem Cell and Regenerative Medicine. Let me tell you that this name and this designation and this introduction is enough. It is like he has got such a reputed name. He is known internationally. Not only the national recognition is there, he has been there. He's training everyone all over the world. He is in demand. Actually, he's the stem cell man, I should say. So other introductions, let me tell you that he is a postgraduate diploma in chemoinformatics. So this is something, we know him as a stem cell man. He has been trained in drug discovery. He has done his PhD, he's done his master's, everything abroad from US. He has got certificate course in stem cell and regenerative medicine, National K University, Athens, Greece. You know, he has been a member of different association. Actually, he has created different, he has organized, he is the founder member of different foundations all over the world for stem cell and regenerative medicine, cosmetic gynecology, lifestyle modification medicine, and so many different innovative futuristic branches are there with which everybody is keen these days to work. Everybody wants to learn whatever is there. He's such a futuristic man. He has got he is there. Whatever you think that this should be there, this is futuristic, he is there with his studies, with his publications, and with his article on it, his lecture on it. So we are blessed to have with us Dr. Prabhu Chandra Mishra, the stem cell man of India, who has made this subject, this stem cell, and who has made his name recognized all over the world. Welcome, Dr. Prabhu. The stage is yours. The whole webinar is yours today.
Dr. Poonam, thank you so much for this elaborative. I never expected like this. It's just, I'm simply a Prabhu and just working on stem cells. That's it. This is what I say every time, like stem cells is the only things who drives me. And but thankful, and this ISAG journey is going to be the amazing. Dr. Poonam is the founder president, and I'm the vice president of that organization. And this ISAG is our Gynae new baby and never ending. So many things we are going to add to the ISAG platform and bring such an innovative ideas and innovative subjects, surgical, non-surgical, and the biologics based. So be tuned with us, and we are bringing many other advances apart from the stem cells and regenerative medicine on the platform through the ISAG and the SILT Connect. And thank you, SILT Connect guys, for this wonderful platform to providing us to create this kind of awareness to our in between of our colleague. This is not nothing like a lecture, because anti-aging is something we feel it, right? So this is nothing of particular subject I'm going to discuss today. This is a sharing of an experience and the exchange among us. So instead of giving the more topics, I will talk with the slides. After my slides, it will be great if we'll have some interactive among the audience. So it will be great to have them on the interactive part. So thank you, Dr. Poonam. So I'm sharing my slides. So something I modified the topic. Definitely stem cells is one of the part I'm going to cover in this, because apart from the beyond the stem cells, beyond regenerative medicine in anti-aging is what next? Because if you'll see the journey of anti-aging from our Ayurveda to Vedas, and from in modern lifestyle, like modern anti-aging gurus, like people like Ray Kurzweil or the Terry Grossman, this kind of leading advocates who advocate about the longevity, vitality, anti-aging words, this kind of pro-wellness, perfect wellness, this kind of word when it comes to the life or the life extension or healthy aging, what I call always, there is nothing any anti-aging. It's always a pro-aging, healthy aging, this kind of word. If we are using what exactly, if we'll go a decade back, one book from the Terry Grossman is very particular. I'm not changing the slide yet, so don't get confused. My slide is particularly moving. I checked my slide, so don't worry. I'm just giving you overview. So Terry Grossman and Ray Kurzweil wrote an amazing book on anti-aging. The book name is The Transcend, 9 Steps Towards the Transcending the Life. The book name is Transcend. Everyone must read. It's a life-changing book. Towards the perception towards yourself. We all are working 365 days, 366 days. How many minutes we are giving to ourselves? There should be always a time for us. You know, like that's how we can go to transform. And this is what exactly. So what he said in 9 ways, relaxation is the most important things. Second is the assessment. Always when after crossing the 35, 40s, most of the chronic inflammatory syndrome, most of the chronic inflammation, lack of electrolytes, minerals, hormones. So these all we need to optimize at certain levels. So assessment is another part. If you'll see the word meaning, transcend, T for always talk to your doctors, your family physician or your primary doctors, always talk to your doctors. Second is the relaxation. Sleep is as good as the medicine, what Dalai Lama said, and this is the best quote I consider. If you are not sleeping in an optimum way, you are not giving your productivity as much you wanted or desired of. So relaxation, assessment is equally responsible to optimize the way, and definitely the nutrition, what we eat, anything you are putting in your mouth, you should be cautious enough what it's going to contribute towards my health. And the most important part, the supplementations. We always forget, because the kind of lifestyle we are living, always working. We always need to optimize the supplementation, calorie restrictions, exercise is the mandatory. We always tell muscle building is the most important. Muscle mass is deteriorating, your health is deteriorating. Exercise is very important, and the new technologies like regenerative medicine, epigenetics, many others, many biologics based devices, and the detoxifications. So this is what the consideration a decade back. In this last 10 years, this science in combination of the internal medicines, regenerative medicine, functional medicine, aesthetic medicine, and the most important terminology, the translational medicine. Nowadays, people have combined the terms. These all area, they brought a new science called metabolic medicines, because most of the aging culprit is inside the gut. What we are eating, how we are living, how much we are sleeping. So metabolic medicines. So this is the way we need to work out. And this is what today I'm going to share some of the journey of mine about some experience about how stem cells, one of the pillar of these 9 transcend part, 9 challenges. I'm just going to give you what is culprit, what we should change the perception towards our life and among the daily based journey. So this is a little bit journey of mine. I'm a like PhD scholar and PhD scientist in biotechnology, a specialization with regenerative medicine. My master is in molecular medicine and stem cell technologies, and this way. So this is the journey of life. It never too early to age elegantly. I always say, like, forget the anti-aging word. Our DNA age is 122 years. We are not achieving our longevity. What will do the anti-aging? Anti-aging, whenever we hear, majorly it concerned towards the skin rejuvenations, damage of the collagen, etc. But if we'll say age elegantly, can we reverse the aging process? First, we need to understand what exactly is the aging. Who are the basic culprit? The chronic inflammations, the lack of electrolyte, that is the hydrations, the insulin resistance, telomeres. So these all are. So what exactly is aging process? How it can be managed? It never be reversed. Aging is an irreversible process. The only thing can be done, you can age elegantly in a gracefully way. So like aging process can be slowed down by managing these all parameters which are drastically responsible for that. So first of all, what exactly is the aging? Aging is definitely a disease. It's like it's a natural process, but considerably aging is definitely a degenerative conditions. So a persistent decline in the age-specific fitness component of an organism due to internal physiological degenerations. Process of aging has nearly universal impact on our bodies, affecting our cells, tissues, organs, and body systems. The effect of aging can be seen in everything from our vital signs to our skin, to our bone, joints, osteoarthritis, the graying of the hair, beards, and these all symptoms. If you'll see in our next slides, I'll show you like each and every cells and tissues are aging. Cells become less able to divide. The metabolism, the ends of the chromosome inside every cells gradually get shorter until finally they get to sort that these cells dies. So these all heart involved vessels like wall of heart gets thicker, heart muscles become less efficient. So these all are the sign and symptoms of the aging process. Bone, muscle joints, bone become thinner and less strong, joint become stiffer and less flexible. Instead of hyaline cartilage, more of the fibrous, avascular necrosis, and many other autoimmune conditions. Digestive systems, like the movement of food through the digestive system, become slower. Stomach, liver, fatty liver, IBS, IBD, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, many others, diabetes, insulin resistance, etc. Brain and nervous system. Number of nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord decreases. Number of connections between nerve cells decreases. Abnormal structures known as plaques and tangles may form in the brain. So these all are like each and every cell and tissues shows the aging process. So this is what the biology of the aging we all know. This is the natural process. So who are the culprit for this? Making this faster? Someone is fast, someone they have the longevity of 90 years. My father's grandmother, she died last year and she was 113-year-old. So like and if we will compare our life, the way we are living the life, we are not thinking like we are going to age as gracefully they were. So what was exactly they were doing and where we are lacking in our lifestyle. So majorly these all, if these slides, if you'll understand these slides, I'll let me make the full screen. Just a minute. So yeah, perfect. This is here, the full screen. Sorry. So see, now if you'll see these slides, one slide, this slide is very, I always got, this is the traditional medicine, like a reactive, all the branch like immunology, or obesology, cardiology, hepatology, oncology, gastro, blah, 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 the allergy, urology. So, and the root cause of the disease, if you'll see this root cause of disease and the functional medicine part, and what are the culprit for that. We always call this, there is 6 or 7 major root cause: inflammation, nutrition, toxins, how much carbs, how much sugar, these all we are eating. Toxins not only due to of the carbs, there are many mineral bills like lead toxicity, chromium toxicity. This kind of these days, it's a micronutrients also causes some this toxicity, and many other free radical base. Because there is a new technology called oligoscan. Oligoscan is the technology, they do the metabolic testings for these all minerals and trace elements. And then they do the detoxification with that by the chelation therapy. A very famous name in India of the chelation therapy is the Dr. Lenny DiCosta in Goa. Exercise, rest and sleep, gut microbiome. I always say everyone, one book is the gut microbiome is by the Dr. Gundry. Must read book by them. Sorry, the microbiome book name is the Robin Chutkin. Must read book is the Robin Chutkin book for the gut microbiome, because you will understand the leaky gut, you'll understand the adrenal fatigue syndrome, you'll understand the like this chronic fatigue syndrome. So these all are equally culprit for the faster aging process, and the book name is the microbiome, and the author is the Dr. Robin Chutkin. And one book about the nutrition, those who are especially the vegetarian people, the plant paradox. The Plant Paradox by Dr. Gundry. It's an amazing book for anti-aging. Must read book. Then restore hormones, adequate supplementation, lifetime mindfulness and stress management, like all yoga, meditation, all holistic things, whatever you like. You want to go to the mountains, trekking, sea, swimming, do that. It's always like, you know, it's a relaxation. So that's an amazing way to lifetime mindfulness. This, and then what exactly it contributes: insulin resistance, immune dysfunction, oxidative stress, leaky gut and ANS imbalance, endothelial dysfunction, terrain imbalance, acid-base imbalance. So this is what the silent, these all silent inflammation are leading to all chronic conditions and the faster aging process. And the other most important part of this, if you'll see the role of telomeres. I'm not going to talk about what exactly is the telomeres. We all know the telomeres allow cell to divide without losing genes, and it's one of the chromosomal end. So here, each time a cell divides, the telomere gets shorter. When they get too short, the cell can no longer divide. It becomes inactive or senescent, or it dies. So every time it divides, every fraction of the seconds, and shorter becomes shorter, because this codes the amino acids. These express the gene. These are responsible for the central dogma, the expression of the genes. So these triggers the aging process. So without telomere, chromosome ends could fuse together and corrupt the cell's genetic blueprint, possibly causing malfunction, cancer, or cell death. So this is what the role of the telomere. And as we age, every fraction of seconds, telomere died. So what to do for the telomere lengthening? There is many company in India, those who are in molecular genetics or this one, they are doing this diagnostic test telomere. One company from the Hyderabad, I should not take the name because I don't have any conflict of interest with them. So like I'll not take the name of the company, but these days for you can do the saliva testing, and you can do your entire whole genome sequencing, and you can predict which gene is for certain metabolic diseases and autoimmune conditions. There is a random SNP, single nucleotide polymorphism, and random tandem repeats, and the repeated mutation it shows. And on the basis of that, it can be predicted like this person may lead to this kind of disease like ILD, IPF, or the liver cirrhosis, or the NASH, or any IBS, IBD, Crohn's, this way. So it can be predicted, prostate, etc. And they also do the telomere testing. So how fastly their telomere divides, what is the length of their telomere. So how fast, on the basis of that, they predict how fast you are aging. So these all are practically possible these days. You can know your telomere lengthening, you can know your genome sequence. So these all are done in India even these days. This is just much informative slides, not like a presentation, but I have quoted a very good information here. Telomerase remains active in sperm and eggs, which are passed from one generation to the next. Geneticist Richard Cawthon and colleagues at the University of Utah and some other scientists all over the world had done experiment on certain animal and human cells and found shorter telomeres are associated with shorter lives. Among people older than 60, those with shorter metabolism were 3 times more likely to die from the heart disease and 8 times more likely to die from infectious disease. While metabolism shortening has been linked to the aging process, it is not yet known whether shorter metabolism are just a sign of aging like gray hair or actually contribute to aging, but still a study is going on all over the world to confirm the role of metabolism in aging. Cells normally can divide only about 50 to 70 times. So role of metabolism, we all eat and breathe. So eat food, 2 vital elements, glucose from the food and oxygen from the air, both contributes to the energy. So metabolism is all about energy, like breathing, circulating blood, eliminating waste, controlling body temperature, contracting muscles, etc. So this leads to the metabolic activity sustain life, or it may cause the metabolic stress. So metabolic stress cause the damaged body, produce free radicals by oxidation process, and leads to the faster aging. So metabolism, so that's why we always say calorie restrictions is one of the very important factors, how much you are eating. It's not like the volume, the content. Even if you drink the 200 ml, and hydration is not meaning like you are drinking every time the coffee, the alcohol, the or sugary fruit juices, always the fresh fruit. Always check the sugar contents, always check the carbs contents. These all are the stress causing elements. Metabolizing food and the overeating. Metabolizing food creates stress on human body. Overeating is more stress on the body. So lead to shorter lifespan and serious health problem, including various aging and the cancers, etc., diabetes. What exactly the oxidative stress causing? Why these days many of them, that like, you know, there the various nutraceuticals IV therapy came into the picture, because or many antioxidants. Why? To prevent from the oxidative stress and the free radical damage. This reactive oxygen species, free radical, what it does? This guy, free radical, is those who are free, they're notorious, right? It's as simple as that. They can bind with anyone. They bind with the good people, they bind with the bad people. So similarly, it goes to the cells, like it can trigger anything. You know, like in leaky guts, today I'll not talk on that, but because it's a very separate lecture about the leaky gut, chronic fatigue syndrome, and the adrenal fatigue syndrome, and the oxidative stress and how to manage. But in general, nutraceutical IV therapy came into the picture, like glutathione, N-acetylcysteine, L-carnitine, sodium ascorbate, magnesium glycinate. Always optimize the magnesium. Because why? Because these all are the potential antioxidant and protect from this oxidative stress and the faster aging process. Because these all, if you'll see, each and every cells having some free radical damage and the oxidative stress and leading to their degenerative conditions. Role of food, definitely here chicken breast is mistakenly written. It should be the leg piece. So this is the this image picture, so don't consider that. So trans fat, deep fried, processed meats, high sugar, processed carbohydrates, these all causes inflammation, and aging is basically a chronic inflammatory state. Damage in your skin's collagen, raise your LDL, bad cholesterol, and lower HDL, good cholesterol, which increases your risk for heart disease. Now coming to my topic, role of stem cells. Whenever the things comes to stem cells, we all think about the cord blood banking, because primarily the major awareness in our country spreaded the word all around through the cord blood banking. We ask anyone stem cells or cord blood banking, or if you'll ask definition, what totipotent, pluripotent, multipotent stem cells. See, stem cells is not today's science. It's practiced since 1963. 1963, when the first BMT done, bone marrow transplant done, for aplastic anemia in Sweden. Even that time, there was no HLA typing in that days. But after that, slowly this science have progressed and well known and well established in hematological conditions like sickle cell anemia, thalassemia, all major kind of leukemia. Then non-hematopoietic indications started by various cell-based therapy like PRP, amniotic fluid, amniotic membrane, this kind of things came, non-healing ulcers, various orthopedic usage, osteoarthritis, sports injuries, etc. came, as some spinal cord injuries have been tried, some cardiac conditions like ischemic cardiomyopathy, dilated cardiomyopathy, myocardial infarction came into the pictures. Various clinical trials started for diabetes type 1 or type 2, then liver cirrhosis, various autoimmune conditions like psoriasis, systemic lupus erythematosus, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer, Parkinson's, cerebral palsy in pediatric. So these all have started slowly progress, but where exactly we are existing is still it's on a very primitive stage and needs a huge clinical trials and the studies and the pilot studies for non-hematopoietic indications. Now the question comes about the basic of a stem cell, some things I should talk here. Stem cells, majorly, if you'll say autologous, allogenic, percentage itself for donor, autologous, where the donor is required, the allogenic. Now it comes like a totipotent, pluripotent, multipotent. 2 days to 5 days is the totipotent stem cells. 2 weeks to 16 weeks of the pregnancy, it's pluripotent stem cells, which are embryonic stem cells. After 16 weeks, all are adult stem cells, which are multipotent stem cells. So these all are, this is how. So now you can say embryonic stem cells are undifferentiated mass. It's a pluripotent in nature. So that's why sometimes people ask, if the stem cell is going to form the cancer? Yes, embryonic stem cells is an undifferentiated mass. It may form teratoma, but adult stem cells, which are already differentiated into their targeted cells, if you'll say like bone marrow, adipose, cord blood, amniotic membrane, amniotic fluid, this is after 16 weeks of pregnancy, right? So these all are source of adult stem cells. These all are multipotent stem cells. So in non-hematopoietic indications, currently there is a terminology called cell-based therapy. Cell-based therapy is the autologous, minimal manipulation, same sitting surgery and homologous usage, is in between of doctor and their patients through informed consent. Autologous, patient is itself a source. Multiple, minimal manipulation means you need not to culture. You cannot isolate a pure population of the cells. You cannot add any enzyme or chemical to modify the cells. You cannot do any kind of depletion and genomic modification and expansion of the cells. Just take in the source, patient is in the OR, you centrifuged it, use it. That's a part of the minimal manipulation, which are called cell-based therapy. This is one of the component of regenerative medicine, because regenerative medicine is not stem cells. It's not a synonymic word. Regenerative medicine is a branch. Stem cell is one of the pillars, cell-based therapy is one of the pillar, tissue engineering like a scaffold. For many various orthopedic indication, it required like for full thickness articular cartilage damages, or cellular matrix for non-healing ulcers, dental plug, or wherever you are doing the assisted regenerative reconstructive surgery, like a flap or this, or you are repairing with the amniotic membrane mesh for vaginoplasty or for hernia repair. So wherever you need the matrix, if you have the good car, you need the good road, right? So if you have the good car, if you have the Ferrari, and if you have the road like a sand one, you cannot get the maximum efficacy. So this is cellular scaffolding, cellular matrix is a separate branch called tissue engineering. Then genome editing tools came, then exosome, liposome, secretomes, molecular medicines, genome editing tools, various area came into this picture. I'm not going to talk in that various aspects of the regenerative medicine. Then another factor which are responsible for aging is, how much time I have, Dr. Poonam, now? Dr. Poonam.
Yes, Dr. Prabhu, you can carry on. Yes, I think it's 15 minutes more you can.
Okay. Okay, then I'll get a little faster.
Mr. Suman? Mr.
Yes,
Suman?
madam. Time is not a constant.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, I
Time is
think-
not a constraint, correct?
time is.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking like I'm talking too much, so it's okay.
No,
No, no, no, sir.
It's very interesting. We are all actually getting.
So
Like,
then
yeah,
another
just-
factor, another critical factor of the faster aging is the genetic factors. So in genetic factors, there are various environmental factors, hereditary factors, extrinsic and intrinsic. In our Vedas, we call like, wherever we be there, we get affected, like, the Sangati Guna Dosha. So it's like extrinsic and intrinsic factors, the sources, and then stochastic factors. So like environmental factors like smoking, pesticides, hereditary factors like genotype, mitochondrial and DNA variations, which affects the genomic DNA, and these extrinsic and intrinsic factors which affect the mitochondrial DNA. Nature have itself a very clever, what he have given. Inside us, there is a nucleotide-based genomic DNA, and mitochondria have their own DNA. And mitochondria had the power. It's a like factory. It's a powerhouse. It gives the energy ATP to the body. Boss, I have my own DNA. I'm not dependent on you. I'm producing the money for you. So this is what the nature have given. Inside us, they have bifurcated the things. So mitochondrial DNA, boss, genomic DNA is always like, if you will do environmental factors, that's why smoking, alcohol, these all, if you imbalance your extrinsic and intrinsic process, damage will start, and immediately free radical increases, ROS species increases, because the NAD got affected in the mitochondria. It's all linked. So genomic DNA, then mitochondrial DNA effect, and these genetic alterations leads to the decline in somatic stem cell function, and which leads to the faster aging. So this, and then again, it leads to the finally metabolic disease, diabetes, obesity, autoimmune conditions, cardiomyopathy, then myocardial infarction, etc. And these all like neurological diseases like dementia, stroke, movement disorders, cancer, and finally the end of the life. These are some of the quotes. I'm just skipping this. The way people promote, like, if you'll see like disease associated with aging, everything is going to age in our body. It's not, nothing new. So it's from the top to bottom. Aging is a natural process. It depends on you, how naturally, how calmly, how elegantly you are living yourself. These are some of the facts. I'm removing this. Can we do this? Can we take this clock back? Anti-aging or the longevity or the pro-aging or healthy aging is nothing reversing the aging process. It's just preventing or slowing down the aging process. 9 ways, I always call it. Talk to your healthcare provider for age beautifully, gracefully, and slowly. Talk to your healthcare provider. Relaxation is very important. Sleep is the best medicine. Always sleep at least 7-8 hours. Assessment, always get your hormone checked. Always optimize your hormone. Today, I'll not talk about the BHRT because BHRT needs at least 2-hour lectures, main BHRT part, and the female, although it's only 3 hormone to discuss along with the DHA, EPT, but many others are also linked. So BHRT maybe some other time I'll talk if Dr. Poonam will suggest on that. So I can talk on the BHRT part here. There's assessment, nutrition, supplements, calorie restrictions, exercise, new technology, like a telomere test and regenerative medicine I talked, and the detoxification. Assessment, what assessment in aging process you can do in general, like telomere testing for knowing how fast you're aging, how fast your telomere is dividing. Epigenetic profiling these days done, like for various epigenetic changes. Let's leave these slides for now. Whole genome profiling I already discussed with the saliva. Oligo scan for the all metal toxicity and the trace element toxicity they predict. Blood diagnostics, of course, all your CBCL, FTK, FT, and the all hormones, etc. Scans and imaging. So these are some of the assessment. Calorie restrictions is very important. Always, many times people say, can we do the keto diets? Fine, keto diet is good for some time if you are doing the, we always get some Google Gyan because the reason is that keto diet is amazing thing. provided you are doing the hard work, you are doing the hard exercise, very tough muscle exercise for at least 2 hours. Then have the keto diet in optimum amount. If you're not doing high fat, is always like, because keto is 70% fat, 20% protein, or maybe 60% fat, 30% protein, and 10% carbs, or the zero carbs. So in, certain change in the food pattern, never be a suggestion, never a suggestion immediately change, because we are used to, from the day we born, after 2 years, the food we started, whenever we started the food, rice, roti, it's our staple diet, right? So we cannot change the staple diet, but we can restrict the sugar as much can, as much you can restrict the carbs, but as much you can overload the body. Most of the time, oh, today is the party. One day party is fair enough, but every day party is not fair enough for your body. Everyone fed ups, right? So body is also understand the language of the food. So also it get fed ups. So give that kind of feeling like, oh, something new. So something new. Always try the new things, but give them the good thing. If you like the Gucci and the Prada and the Louis Vuitton, similarly give the good protein to your body. So metabolizing fewer calories, less oxidative damage to cells, induce hits of proteins, increased production of brain-derived neurotrophic factors, induce hits of proteins like allow the body to better withstand other stresses and health problems, protect the brain from dysfunction and degeneration, and supports increased regulation of blood sugar, heart cell, and etc. BHRT, I'm not going to talk today. BHRT is because what the synthetic hormone is from the mares. So how many percentage of amino acid is compatible to the mare's amino acids on the basis of the compatibility of the synthetic hormones. BHRT, either it's a compounded or either as much similar from the natural source. Most of them have been derived from the plant source, or maybe the recombinant human source. So that's why BHRT is in trends these days, and the route of administration is here also emphasizes, and various drugs like oral, transdermal, vaginal routes, etc. So I'll talk later something here. Though, so this BHRT part I'm skipping. IV nutraceuticals, I have already given you the overview. Microbiome is always optimize your prebiotic, probiotic, some immunobiotic. More, you must read the book Dr. Robin, R-O-B-Y-N, Robin Chutkin. Robin Chutkin put in the Amazon, and so amazing book for leaky gut syndrome and the chronic fatigue syndrome and the leaky gut microbiome, how to optimize these prebiotic, probiotics, various like especially those who are practicing like typically metabolic medicines and dealing with IBS, IBD, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, how you can increase the like more fiber, like whole grains, legumes, fruit, which combinations of the other CBOG and etc. So various things, various aspects in that, like fecal. Because in emerging therapies like microbiome health, like fecal microbiota transplantation, fast therapy came these days. Then probiotics, especially for lactobacillus and the bifidobacterium genera, various combinations. So these all, especially for the cancer patients or some autoimmune conditions. And various like specific combination of probiotic came for cardiovascular health, oral health, skin health, vaginal and urinary health. Like in vaginal health, like most of the time, if you have the concern in most of the country like Romania and all, where the HPV is the really a pandemic in Romania and Eastern Europe, in some of the country. So where like this, this is very popular, especially like lactobacillus probiotic combination. Which one? Like for the vaginal dysbiosis, or recent finding like long-term lactobacillus supplementation may help me for the HPV infection as well. So like various strain combination is there. Like for eczema, lactobacillus and the bifidobacterium species. Which one? So like L. acidophilus plus bifidum combination for skin health. Oral health, which one is better? Like for cardiovascular, L. plantrum, L. reuteri, and L. acidophilus combination goes. So and especially for respiratory and immune health, like they ferment the SREG. So these are for the seasonal allergy. So various prebiotic, probiotic combination these days came. Then intermittent fasting, always give the gap between your fast. We always say, once you get the, put the foot on the fire, I should not use the exact phrase, people perform, right? So this is the similar, as much you will stretch, cells desperate to eat, desperate. So you can take their maximum efficacy. So ultimately it's a slow down the aging process. So intermittent fasting, it activates the stem cells. So always intermittent fasting is the amazing things, because this is again a very popular topics, how it contributes, how the calorie restriction contributes. So I'm not going because AMPK cascades, JNK cascade. So if you'll see the intermittent fasting, body temperature decreases, inflammation decreases, fasting insulin level decreases, energy expenditure decreases, lipid metabolism decreases, cardiovascular disease risk decreases, circadian clock system improvement, blood pressure improvement, ketone body increases, and the proteostasis increases. So these all leads to a good thing. So intermittent fasting and the calorie restrictions is an amazing aspects of the slow down the. This is the Google image. This is not my image. Epigenetics, you will find the epigenetic picture. You will get these very popular pictures with respect to the aging process. 9 hallmarks of aging: genome instability, telomere attritions, epigenetic alterations, loss of proteostasis, dysregulated nutrient sensing, mitochondrial dysfunction, cellular senescence, stem cell exhaustion, and altered intercellular communications. This is how epigenetic aspect of the aging. This is another area to speak, because in this introductory session I cannot talk on that. It requires too much of explanation. Everything have their pathways, cellular signaling pathways linked to the stem cells, regenerative medicines, and the aging process, and finally lead to our lifestyle. So ultimately for telomere, like zinc and selenium combinations. Selenium combinations also leads to the, like, hypothyroidism and TSH environments. So increase the garlic, etc., anti-inflammatory things. So everything is linked. Finally, we can link into the practical aspect of the life, what we are eating. Intimate aging management, various things like antioxidants, supplementations, energy-based devices these days for vaginal atrophy, vaginal tightening. These all kind of indications these days, vulvovaginal rejuvenations, cell-based therapy like PRP, etc., and the BHRT. Then already discussed about the BHRT part, which hormones, how to check which one, even in phytoestrogen, which one, if you are using the which dosage, even bias you are using, E3, E2 combination or E1, E2 combinations, like which one, these all required, and some antioxidants like black cohosh, donquois, cruciferol. So these all are huge area to improve that. Men's intimate management, like holistic approach with hormones, supplements, shockwave therapy for erectile dysfunction, PRP, intracorporeal injections. These days have been tried by the various urologists, and the various stem cell aspects also came. So these all are increasing day by day for the intimate well-being. And definitely the BHRT, the optimizing the testosterone level, and the DHEA and other hormones, especially for SHBG, etc. And then what for the testosterone level, what you can add, like zinc, DHEA, some other antioxidants, like especially for vitamin A and tocopherol and selenium have shown it's a proven these days, like vitamin A, E, and selenium combination to improve the testosterone condition as a natural antioxidants. Then some of the natural things like nettle roots, Muria puama, Pysium. So these all have been widely used. 3 factors that affect testosterone level and DHEA, aromatage, and the obesity. And in obesity, because you suppresses the action of the luteinizing hormone in the testes. So these all, you need to work out on that. You need to check then, especially then the liver function, especially the fatty liver, to the NAS stages when it's approaches. Sorry. Body composition, CNS, prostate health, etc. Then erectile dysfunction is various antioxidants like Campharia, Praviflora, L-arginine, Pycnogenol, Epimedium, Yohimbine, Ginseng, Maca, Ginkgo biloba, Muria puama. These have been tried extensively for that. Mental wellness conditions, if you'll see aspect of the anti-aging, like especially like Alzheimer, Parkinson, dementia. Then metabolic disorders like diabetes, liver diseases, degenerative bone and joints disorders like OA, osteoarthritis, avascular necrosis, autoimmune conditions. So real foundation of youth, definitely the telomere testing, telomerase. the full ultra, like definitely add some natural fruits, seasonal fruits, always to replace the sugar always with the seasonal fruits. This is what we say, like, so increase the protein part, increase the fruits, and some definitely the nutraceuticals and IV parts. So this is all we have already discussed this. And the holistic approach, there are 6 components of wellness: proper weight and diet, proper exercise, breaking the smoking habit, control of alcohol, stress management, and the periodic exams. So these are very important. And some of my favorite messages I have quoted here. What exactly is the anti-aging process is the, what you experience. So see primary things, see your primary healthcare provider regularly. Second, I always say spend time with Mother Nature. Exercise regularly within your ability. It's not someone is doing 20 kg weights, you should also pull up. No, never do that. Exercise regularly within your ability. Nurture your relationship with the family member. This is the best medicine even. Stretch your minds. Feed yourself a healthy, nutritious diet. Get a good night's sleep. Take advantage of social opportunities. Maintain supportive social relationship to stay active and engaged. Practice your faith. Volunteer your time. When it comes to treating health challenges, explore something new. And if you want to, this video we have created by my team. But due to lack of the time, I'll not show you, unfortunately. It's a 7-minute exercise everyone should do at their home. So I'm skipping these slides, but I can share with Dr. Poonam, and she might share with you all guys. Its hand. And definitely the stress management part. Like always do your hobby like music, yoga, or exercise, however, meditation, connect to nature. And therapy like laugh, aroma, reading, relax, deep breathing, sufficient sleep. So thank you so much for your time and etc. And this is our center in Delhi, what we are doing exactly. Oh, just a minute. Oh, it's not playing, I'm sorry. Just a minute, Dr. Poonam, I'll just take 10 seconds to run this video.
Yeah, please. Yes, we are also eagerly waiting for that video.
It was not the exercise video. This is what we do as a comprehensive approach to longevity and anti-aging.
Sir, it is not visible.
Not visible?
No, sir.
Also,
Okay, then let's skip these slides. Okay. So this is my message to all of you. Sleep is the best medicine. It's never too early to age elegantly, aging gracefully, beautifully, and naturally. So hope you all have enjoyed, and thank you very much for your time. This is the bibliography. If we have any questions, we can.
Thank you, Dr. Prabhu. It was so enlightening and it was such an enriching lecture. The anti-aging, actually, the medicines and regenerative medicine itself for anti-aging is actually in boom these days. And as I said earlier also, that this is the future. And everyone here in this world, everyone is keen to go for anti-aging. Everyone wants to reverse back the cycle of aging and everything. So this lecture is going to be a powerful one to enrich the knowledge and to know those who are keen for this subject, and those who want to know more about this can be benefited by this lecture. And further, if they want to get some sort of more knowledge regarding this stem cell, can directly contact to me or Dr. Prabhu. And yes, our organizations are there to help everyone and to give more and more knowledge, to spread more knowledge regarding this stem cell. And in general, as the whole lecture was so very much enlightening, what In a nutshell, we can say that these stem cells are actually the daughter cells. These are actually going to create the daughter cells. Wherever they are put, they actually get the shape and size and quality of that area wherever they are put. That is why they are so futuristic. Every sort of diseases are actually targeted to be treated by this stem cell therapy. And let me tell you, this stem cell therapy is doing wonders in infertility treatment also. And Dr. Prabhu is helping many centers and many gynecologists to learn about this stem cell and to utilize that knowledge for the infertility treatment. Even I am doing the same in my center. And this harvesting of bone marrow cell aspirate, which is actually the stem cells are taken out, they are prepared, and they are actually injected into the ovaries and into the endometrium, and they are rejuvenating the ovaries, and where the AMH was low and hormones FSH and LH, like premature menopause was there, and it is all actually getting reversed. And patients are getting their spontaneous menstruation and further ovulation. And many patients are there, many records are there. So this is something to learn about. Actually, this is also the anti-aging. Those females who are keen to have, to actually not to age and to reverse their cycle of aging. And they want not for the infertility itself, but for the rejuvenation and for keeping themselves young enough. They are going for this ovarian rejuvenation process with stem cell for their anti-aging purposes. And this is a sort of message for everyone. And yes, I'm very happy that this sort of lecture we could put in our series Cosmetic Gynae Made Easy. And yes, we are going to welcome all those questions. Mr. Suman, are there questions for Dr. Prabhu?
Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Suman. Go ahead. Yeah.
Madam,
Shall I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Prachi here again, Dr. Prabhu. So excellent session. So a couple of quick questions, since this webinar was on stem cell and anti-aging. So I was under an impression that it is about the facial skin, the skin of your face. That's the role of stem cell. But
Dr. Prachi, let me tell you that this stem cell is from head to toe,
absolutely.
From the hair on your head to the nails in your the toes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is doing wonders all over the body, not over the face only.
Absolutely.
And all those internal organs also, and in orthopedics, all those bones also. So yes.
Absolutely. So are there any contraindications as far as this stem cell therapy is concerned?
It depends. Definitely, every indication have the inclusion and exclusion criteria.
Correct.
It's not like that contraindication, because it's your own body cells. It's your own body cells, either bone marrow or the fat or the blood, whatsoever. It depends for what we are using. Let's say for primary ovarian insufficiency or the premature ovarian failure. If we are using, in that case, there is nothing much work for the endometriosis. In ovary or PCOD, PCOS, it's not working because AMH is very high, multiple follicles. There is no role. But in case of low AMH, it's working. So that's how, you need to choose the inclusion and exclusion criteria for that.
Right, sir. So typically, in any IVF center, a major chunk of patients are PCOS related, and that is a contraindication, as you had mentioned.
With the stem cells, but in that case, we are doing this nutraceuticals IV, and that's working very nice.
Okay, fine. So typically, conditions like poor ovarian reserve, then endometriosis.
Thin endometrium is there, Asherman syndrome is there, especially if I'll talk about in gynae. There are various other indications. I have developed one protocols, and it's published called Intima cell for stress urinary incontinence. So we are doing the adipose tissues there for vaginal atrophy, vulvodynia. So in gynae, we are working with many indications.
Okay. So can you typically addressing the gynecological issues, can you take one more session a little bit in detail?
Yes, anytime, anytime. That will be like
Right.
regenerative medicine in gynecological disorders.
Yes,
where
yes,
we can
that's
discuss.
awesome. Yes, even I was also going to propose this theme, that the next lecture and one more lecture on nutraceuticals in gynecology and in regenerative medicine, or you can say that rehabilitative medicine. Yes,
Okay.
we would be
Wonderful.
going with that.
Wonderful. Right, right. Over to you, Suman. Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
thank
Prabhu.
you, thank you very much, sir. Sir, just I could find one question that at present, what are the in which diseases stem cell therapy is available in India, sir?
Say it says like ideally proven for all hematological conditions and limbal stem cells, remaining non-hematopoietic, autologous, minimal manipulation, same-sitting surgery, homologous usage is in between of doctor and their patients, which are a part of cell-based therapy, not in stem cells. So this is what the current situations.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Poonam, for this wonderful platform.
Madam, any other question, ma'am? Poonam, ma'am, from your end? Madam, you are in mute, ma'am.
Everything has been covered by Dr. Prabhu so beautifully. Dr. Prabhu, is there any other message directly from you to all the viewers? And yes, we would welcome that.
I
Please
already talked 1 hour. So
yes, yes. And a lot of more things and more knowledgeable things are there to be delivered to everyone. So another lecture from your side, we would be awaiting eagerly. So thank you, everyone. I think we would be closing our session, our today's session at this point only. Though there is no end to this futuristic subject. And yes, as we promised, again, we would be here with another topic, another session on stem cells in obstetric and gynecology, basically in gynecology and infertility. So bye-bye this time. See you soon.
Thank you, everyone. And wishing you all the Merry Christmas and have the great time and celebrate with your family.
Thank you very much,
And
sir.
Happy New Year too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this nice presentation. Obviously, thank you, Poonam madam, for organizing and coordinating all the entire session. And I would like to convey our delegates, obviously, for the participation of this session. And please stay tuned. We will be coming with another very interesting session in next month, January 2023 onwards. So meanwhile, I would like to say happy Christmas and advance happy